Okay, that's great. So it's being recorded. So welcome again, and we are here with Josué Vergara. Is a composer from Spain. I'm very happy that we have Josué today because I really love his work, and overall, I love his attitude towards work because he's always busy, always working different projects, not limiting himself just to okay, I will compose music for movies. He's like, okay, I will work in movies, but I will work in commercials too, and I will work in trailers, and I will work, whatever, even working together with other composers. So it's quite interesting, but I believe it will be a little bit boring if I explain to you everything that Josue do. So it's better if he tell you by himself. Okay, so Josue, it's gonna be started, and very very nice to have you, and thank you for coming. And it's your turn.
So, hello, guys. It's at first a very great pleasure to be here with all of you. I would like to thank Tony, Esteban, and Facu for the invitation, and I hope that you enjoy all this thing that we will speak in this meeting. So thank you very much. And yeah, I would like to introduce myself very shortly. My name is Josué Vergara. I live in Spain, in Valencia. I'm a Spanish music composer. Um, but I have the chance of the luck to live approximately 15 years in Geneva, in Switzerland, when I was young, and it's for me very important because I had another point of view and another experience when I touched the music with other musicians, other composers, and it was very interesting for me to interact with all these people in Switzerland. When I returned to Valencia, when I returned to Spain, approximately 23, 24 years ago, I was alone in Spain, but I needed to contact with a lot of people to change my impressions and to have new contacts for the music. So it was a very great experience. And I began to write some mails to other directors, etc. And I began to work with other directors. So for me, the most important thing when you compose is not the product, is not the film. It is, but I think that it's the process when you compose, and it's absolutely necessary to enjoy in the process. So if you don't enjoy in the process, you have a problem, because I think that to compose music, it's a very great thing. You need to have a lot of things that allowed you to compose. A director, a producer, a studio, your studies in music, a piano, a guitar, or you need a very great investment with the music. But I think that when you have all these things, it's necessary to don't forget to enjoy in the process. For me, it's the most important thing. So I would like to share with you today um, some of my works, but I would like to interact with you and to have the possibility to to ask me what do you think it's important for you, and in what measure I can um, help someone to in this process, no, or in this way, or in this path. So yeah, I don't know, Tony. We can begin to see, for example, some works. I would like maybe to share with you today, because it's short time, about spots, for example, publicity or
Yeah,
advertising.
Yeah, it would be great trailer music because you have like some very interesting things to say about that trailer music and how
Okay,
you make your path in trailer music, and then we can open to the Q&A that is always
perfect.
interesting.
So I would like to explain the way I arrive to the trailer music, okay? Because I'm a composer for film, TV shows, etc. And the trailer, for example, in the United States, are composed by another composer. It's not the same composer who composes the film who composes the trailer. Is not as in Spain, for example. In Spain, normally, or in France, or in Europe in general, it's the same composer who composes the film composes the trailer. And in the United States, it's completely different. So I think that it was 4 or 5 years ago, I presented my music in a music competition. This is the Oticons faculty. It's a very great competition. And after all the works I sent, I was finalist in the last section. And I finished on the second place. And I have the very great opportunity to meet Yoav Goren in Los Angeles, in Santa Monica. Yoav is the CEO of the great Immediate Music, one of the most important company in the world to compose trailers for films. And I traveled to Los Angeles. I share with Yoav approximately 6 hours in his studio. And I participated in the last production of Immediate Music named On the Burden of Being. So after this evolution, I have the possibility here in Spain, for example, to use all my experience in the trailer music, even if in Spain, the composer composes the trailer of the film. Okay, so I don't know, maybe we can try to see, I can try to share with you some example of a trailer, and we can speak about it if you want, okay? So I try to share. Okay.
El mundo se volvió loco cuando los niños desaparecieron. Es tiempo de sobrevivir. No quiero quedarme sola, tengo miedo.
Es normal que tengas miedo. Tienes que continuar. Recuerda todo lo que te he enseñado. Te quiero.
So in this example, for example, in Spain, we need sometimes, very often, actually, to produce the trailer, to have the money to produce the film. So it's the opposite than in the United States or other countries. For example, when you produce the film, you have all the money and all the production to do the film. And after the film, you produce the trailer. Here in Spain is different. We need to show to our producers that the product is a good product, the idea is a good idea, and after, give me money because I need to shoot the film. Okay, so it's very important in 2, 3, 4 minutes only we have for the trailer to transmit to the audience everything about the film, the story, the quality, the color, the music, the quality of the actors, etc. And the music in the trailer is more, in my opinion, more than 50% of the production of the trailer. Okay, it's a very, very important thing. If you put the silence, for example, in your TV or in your iPad, or where you are seeing the trailer is completely empty. So the impact is absolutely different if you put a music or not. So we can see that the music in the trailers are very, very important. Okay, I think that we can use the next 5 or 10 minutes to speak about the importance, not only for the music, but yes, for the marketing of the music, the contacts, how it's possible to contact with a director, with a firm, or with someone else to offer our services and to compose, for example. Okay, so I remember approximately 10 years ago, I tried to see, for example, I used LinkedIn, the social media LinkedIn, to contact with some people who were working on the cinema industry, for example, directors. Okay, I remember I wrote approximately 50 mails. I sent these 50 mails and I received approximately 6 or 7 only answers. Okay, when I received these answers, I was very, very happy because I thought that the answers were 0. So 6 and 7 for me, it was a great result. I remember I talked with one director, in this case, Abdelatif Huidar is a Spanish director, and thanks this mail, I began to compose for a short film. After this short film, I have the possibility to compose for a spot, and after the spot, for a TV show, and after a TV show, for my first film, for my first movie. Okay, and actually now I'm composing a lot for documentaries. So it's a great thing. I remember, for example, 2 years ago, approximately 2 years ago, I'm a fan in Spain of Kilian Jornet. It's a runner. I don't know if you know, in all over the world, it's a very great person. And I saw the documentary Everest when Kilian Jornet climbed the Everest 2 times in the same week. Okay, I was absolutely astonished by this person. Okay, and I remember I saw on the credits of the film, of the documentary, who was the director, because I liked so much the way of shoot this kind of documentary. I wrote to Sebastien, is the director, in the same way of 10 years ago when I wrote to 50 directors. And I was absolutely, I thought that it was impossible that Sebastien wrote me to my mail. I was very surprised because approximately 3 or 4 days after I received the mail of Sebastien, and he wrote me that he was very interested to write, to work with my music, and he had in this moment a documentary named Out of the Blue. It's a very great documentary, completely different with other works I had composed. It's for example, climbers, I think 3,000 meters in the Alps, making slackline and a lot of sports, no, a lot of risk sports. And I began to compose the documentary Out of the Blue. Now is on a lot of festivals with a lot of awards. And I'm very, very happy with this experience because it was a way for me to think about, after 10 years, that it's absolutely possible to write to everyone and to work with everyone. I think it's very, very, very important to enjoy with our work and to write to everyone, to have the possibility. We have the no. The no, it's okay, we have the no, but maybe we can try to have the yes. And if we have the yes, we will have the possibility to mix our talent with other people and to share this talent. And I remember at the beginning of the meeting when Tony said about the collaborations with other composers. I think that maybe in the cinema industry is more difficult because, some actors, you have a lot of, I don't know how to say that, the competence with other directors, other actors, etc. But it's strange. In music, we are a lot of composers friends. We respect a lot the work of other composers, and we like to share our work with others in the same production. And I think that it's a very great value because when you are alone in your studio, you are composing with your piano, it's your idea and it's great. But sometimes when another composer said to you, okay, if you put here, I don't know, a duduk, for example, or an electric guitar, you change your mind. You are more open-minded, and you can bring some value to the production. And I think that the result is the production and to enjoy with the people you are working. Okay, so for me it's important, maybe for other composers not, but I think that it's a great thing.
Yeah, as you were talking, yes, I totally agree with you. That's something I always talk with some composers friend. We have a ego problem, as Gabriel says but I believe this is something I talk a lot about in my classes of harmony, because we are together in the chats. We are showing each other pieces that are not finished, that are not, and we are not there just to show how good we are, just to show how we can improve. And that's a good recipe to fight against the ego. But as you were talking, is a lot of questions coming. So I believe it will be good if we start to put people there. So the first one is Santiago. Then we have Gabriel, then we have David, Oriana. I have the list here. So we can go one by one, and they will ask you some really interesting questions. So let's go with Santiago first.
Can you hear me?
Hi. Yes.
Hi, Santiago. How are you? Nice to meet you.
Very nice to
Yes.
meet you, everybody. And Josué, pleasure to meet you. Thank you so much for being here.
Same.
I actually have kind of a two-parter question. I'm near Los Angeles, and one day I dream to live in Spain. I love it over there. But my worry is that I may not have as much work as a composer in Spain compared to being near Los Angeles. So I'm just curious, number one, do you find that a problem? Do you get a lot of your work from people in Spain or other countries? How does that work for you?
It's a very, very good question, and I thanks this question. Obviously, it's true that if you live in Los Angeles, you have maybe more possibilities to work in a project. Okay, it's true, but it's true that you have more competence. You have in Los Angeles, there is a lot of people composing for this industry. So I think that if your work has quality today, with the possibilities to share your work through the medias, through a Skype or Zoom, etc. Even if you, for example, are recording your score with, I don't know, with Prague or with Bratislava or with Los Angeles, you can record from your home studio, and you have the same quality even if you are in the studio in Los Angeles. So it's important, for example, for me, it's important to have a trip or to travel to Los Angeles every year, maybe one or two times. But
Okay.
I think that you don't need to be conditioned by the place you live to make your dreams come true. Okay. So I live in Valencia. I travel a lot to Los Angeles. I have a lot of contact in Los Angeles. I'm very happy. But for me and for my mind, it's very important to compose in Valencia. Maybe the quality of my compositions, my feelings, my heart, my head when I'm composing is absolutely different if I live in Spain with the sun, with the beach, and with the Mediterranean food than if you live, for example, in Alaska. I don't know. Okay. But I think that today you can work in a grid division if your work has quality. I remember, for example, I was in Fimucité in el Festival Internacional de Música de Cine de Tenerife, the Tenerife Film Music Festival. And I remember I talked with Bruce Broughton about the differences between the music in the 90s or in the 80s, when Bruce worked with the score, everything with paper, etc. And it was impossible to record the score if he wasn't on directing the orchestra. And the music has a very great evolution in these last 30 years. So I think it's important if you live in Los Angeles, if it's the place you live, okay? But if it's not, I think that it's not a very great handicap, in my opinion, Santiago.
Okay, great. And then just a follow-up question. You're saying about emailing all these people and everything like that, which is wonderful. But my big question on that is like, how do you find the contacts, their emails or who to even contact? What, for someone starting off like me, what would you recommend?
Okay, it's strange, but I repeat the same argument. So today, maybe if you want to write to James Cameron, it's a little bit complicated. Okay, if you want to write to Spielberg, it's a little bit complicated. But sometimes you have a surprise. Okay. Today, with, for example, LinkedIn, we have a lot of directors who work with this special media. So it's only to write on the search bar, directors or cinema, and you see what you what it appears in the social media. Okay, and after 3, 4, 5 days, you try to select by your preferences or your music, or yeah, you try to select about which director is important to send your email. Okay. Before that, it's important to write a good mail with a short biography, your work, your links, and try. When you send this mail, it's only for you 2 minutes. It's only to push enter and to wait for the answer. Okay, so if you can send to 100 people, send to 100 people. I'm sure that you will have more than a surprise, Santiago.
Okay, wonderful. Josué, it was a pleasure. Thank you very, very much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your question. Okay, let's gonna go with Gabriel. Gabriel is the next one. What? Ask my question for me. No mic, no cam. Oh, Gabriel doesn't have mic or cam. Okay. The question from Gabriel was very, I feel is very interesting. She said, do you keep psychologically balanced when work on dark material? I mean, how do you keep psychologically balanced when, for example, in this trailer, you know, we are seeing a little girl, but she's like shooting people and with the knife and stuff. And if you are working in something like really, because you should connect, you should make like kind of empathy to be true, authentic, not just faking the emotion, but having the emotion. But sometimes the emotion is a little bit dark. How do you manage that?
So thank you for the question, Gabriel. And yes, it's true that it's not the same to compose for a love film or for an action film or for a dark film or a terror film. Okay, so it's absolutely necessary to have this kind of empathy with what you are understanding with the picture, with the feelings of the actors, and with the idea in general of the movie. And you need to, it's a complicated feelings, okay? But you need to contact with yourself, with your own feelings, to do the best when you compose the music for this kind of film. Okay, so I'm not sure I am answering your question, but yeah, I think that your feelings, your head is very, very important to express yourself with your music, not with other kind of music I have heard for other trailers. So I need to be myself, I need to be me, and to compose what I'm feeling in this moment with the picture.
Yes, and how do you write yourself? Maybe Facundo was making a point that I believe is interesting. It's a little bit like the actors. I mean, you are an actor, you are playing an assassin, and then the end arrives. I mean, it is the end, it's the night, and then you go and you have your. I mean, you are eating with your friends and with your girlfriend and with your daughter, and you are not killing anyone, you know. So you can establish this kind of difference. That's great. So thank you so much, Gabriel, for the question, and very important point about the empathy. I believe without empathy, you can't. My personal belief is you can be a good person if you don't have empathy, but I don't believe you can be a good professional. I believe maybe one of the only good things I heard to say to a rich person is, if you don't understand people, you can understand business. Because sometimes we talk a lot about this kind of productivity and stuff, but we forget about empathy. And that's a very important point. Okay, next one is David. So David, do you have a question that you can do it by yourself using the microphone? That's this wonderful advance. Yeah, great.
Okay. Hello, David.
Hi, very nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you.
Masterclass. I was just wondering, do you write music for libraries as well, or are you just primarily just write music for film and documentaries and TV shows?
It's a good question. Thanks. I use a lot of libraries in my studio to compose music. Okay, so we have the question is very important, because if we have budget to record some scores, probably we only compose the mockups, and after that we write the scores, and we talk with the orchestra to record with original or with real instruments the score. Okay, but it's not always like that.
I think you misunderstood my question. Sorry, I was on about, but that's really interesting what you're talking about as well. I was more on about production libraries to do with music libraries.
Okay, in my case, actually, I'm not composing for libraries.
Okay, yeah.
Because I'm busy with other things. I think that maybe in some months or maybe some years, it's possible that I compose for libraries, but it's not my goal now, because I'm very, very happy and I am enjoying composing for films, etc. And I have the possibility today to compose with a lot of things. So maybe if in 3, 4, 5 years, I don't know, I have a lot of free time, I will consider to compose for libraries, but it's not the case now.
Is there a certain technique into writing trailer music? Because a lot of trailer music does come across very similar.
Yes.
And I'm just wondering if you had, from your experience, what sort of approach do you take to writing trailer music?
So, thanks for the question. When you write music for a trailer, you are selling the trailer. You are selling the film. So you have some prototypes or some models you need to apply in your composition. It's like that. I prefer compose like a short film, for example, for the trailer. But I understand that the industry needs this kind of music for the trailer. Okay. Normally, if the film is an action film, every trailer is very similar to the rest of the trailers. The music, even you can take the music of a trailer, you can change the trailer, and it works. It's strange, okay? But it's what we need to consume when we go to the cinema or when we are watching the TV, and we need to, oh yeah, I have seen the new trailer of the new film of Transformers, and I need to go to the cinema to see this film. But it's true that you can take this music and you can change like a trick.
So are you saying, like, say you could write 3 sections, 3 different parts in the piece of music, but you could move those parts around, put one at the front, put one at the end, and put one in the middle, and then swap them around again, and the music would still kind of work?
Yeah, you can do that. But
it's not like so in terms of like editing points and stuff like that.
No, I believe David, he's talking more about you can take the trailer from one movie and then put it in another different movie, and it will work the same. You know what? A very interesting experiment you can do. You can take the 3 first films of Harry Potter with John Williams, and you can see how the music is Harry Potter, period, right? But now you will go for another great composer. You will go for Alexander Desplat. He made a movie with Harry Potter too. But I bet you, if you get the scene when they are running and you get the music and you put it in another movie when they are running, like let's say, for example, the Bourne Supremacy or the Ultimatum Bourne, whatever, it will work. Yes. The same, exactly. Believe me, I did it myself.
Yeah, no, I sent a trailer off there to a company. They actually forwarded. They really liked it, but they didn't use it. But that was after writing about.
That happens. If you want a secret, David, one of the reasons they fit perfectly from one film to another is because if you talk, don't talk just with musicians, talk with other people. If you talk with the editors, the video editors, you know what they want to make, like the montage, they want music. So they take a big trailer music and they make the montage. So when the montage arrived to Josué feel the rhythm, and he feels it needs a kind of music that is like exactly like the other trailer, but it's because the internal structure, it is the same. And another thing I believe you can do, and that can be very interesting, take a look for writers that are doing a kind of 2 or 3 books per year. I mean, this kind of writer that is working a lot. Normally they work with companies, and take his last book, make a trailer for the book, and talk with him and say, hey, you know what? I love your books, no matter that you don't read one, and I love your books, and I want to make music trailers for books. And this guy will be interesting if he loves what he hears, because normally people in film, they know how a trailer of the film is, but in books is something relatively new, and maybe you can have a chance there if you have, because I can see in you, in the way you express yourself, you have the will to work, and this is something people will appreciate. But maybe you should go to another place where you can be noticed more, and maybe a writer doesn't have that much musicians.
Yeah, no, thanks very much for your information.
I believe can be good.
And you know,
yeah,
David,
no, I've had some work with short films. I've done a good few short films, but the library music is the other thing I was trying to get into, and I was finding it difficult to write the specific spec that they're looking and get it exact. But I suppose it's all practice, isn't it? The more you do it, the better you get at it.
Look, believe me, look for novels. I believe it will be a thing. Maybe not now, but maybe in 5 years it will be a thing. Novels, because now they make this kind of short trailers in, like, for YouTube, and they take generic music. Hey, you spend 1 year of your life writing this book. You don't want generic music. You want a specific music tailor-made for you. I'm the man you need in your project. So sell it.
Okay, thanks very much.
Thank you, David.
Thanks.
Okay, let's see now. We have Oriana. Oriana is there?
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Oriana. How you doing?
You?
Good, thank you. Yeah, my question is about, I want to know if the trailer music has to be kind of a teaser or a showcase for what the rest of the film's music has to be, or if it can be like a totally separate thing. Like, how related do the trailer music and the film music need to be?
Thank you for your question. It's absolutely different. Absolutely different. Because we mount the teaser or the trailer in a completely different way as a film. The message you need to transmit with the trailer is completely different than the film. For example, you need in 1 minute, in 2 minutes, or in 3 minutes to give the necessity that people want to go to the cinema to see the film. So the treatment, the method, and everything is completely different. Maybe if you are, if we are talking about Pirates of the Caribbean, for example, it's the identity of the music is so strong that maybe we have the same theme in the trailer on the teaser than in the film, but it's an exception, in my opinion. Okay, so normally the treatment is completely different. We don't need, we are not obliged to use the love theme, for example, of the film for the trailer, etc. I don't know if I'm answering your question.
Yeah. So you don't need to, you're not trying to tell the story in the trailer, you're more just trying to sell the film.
Exactly. Okay. You need to tell the story of the trailer, but not of the film. Because it's like, the trailer is like a short film. It's different. even if it's the same film. And sometimes, I don't know if you have or if you had this feeling, you love the trailer, but you don't like the film, because the treatment of the trailer is completely different and the film is another story.
Thank you.
Yeah, that happens with Instagram too. You like the Instagram picture, but you don't like the person when you meet in person. That's something happens. Yeah, it happens in Tinder too. But it's interesting what you are saying about the selling point, and because you have a privilege when you are writing the trailer for I don't know. For example, the last Star Wars movie, they made this version of the Force theme that was absolutely terrifying. I don't like it. It was like pretty too much dynamics, too much. It's too much of everything. But we don't care, because I'm 45 now. Since I was 9 years old, I was watching these movies. In the moment I hear ta 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 ta, I feel it. No matter if you are playing with a full orchestra, if you are with a synthesizer, or if you are with a gaita, I don't care. It's just, wow, it's the first theme. But that's a privilege that you don't have when you are writing a trailer for a movie that no one knows yet. So what Josué is saying is, oh, what about the emotion? It's action, so make me feel the action, and then I go for the action, but I stay because I love the characters. But in first place, you go for the action, or maybe for the mystery. It happens here in Spain. This movie from Salaman. The name here was the forest, El Bosque, the forest. They sold to us the movie like a horror movie. It's not a horror movie. It's a really interesting social commentary. But some people were disappointed with the film, but it was because the trailer. But the trailer was made thinking like, okay, let's gonna sell it like a horror movie. So that's a good point, because it make me feel like we as composers, we need to know not just how to write music for this film, but another side will be how to write music to sell this film.
Exactly.
To make people going to watch the film. That's really cool thing, and that's what trailer is about, right, Josué? It's more or less like this.
Yeah, sure, of course. It's like that.
And even when you are fighting for getting the money, because in Spain, Oriana, in Spain, we don't have like the money. We make the movie and we make the trailer. We should get the money, and to get the money, we make a trailer. We saw the trailer. If you like the trailer, you give me the money, so I make the movie. So then the necessity of selling is something literally you need it. It's something, yeah. Well, salesman with a piano or something like that. I don't know how to explain. So, but it's good. The Village, yeah, that was the movie. Thank you, Esteban.
Thank you,
Okay.
Oriana.
Yes. We have that one is interesting. It's John Evans. We have John Evans, and then we have like 10 minutes, and then you can go to the party and get your hour and everything.
It's a premiere. It's not an hour.
Yeah, it's a premiere. Okay, because everyone is giving you hours all the time, so I was thinking it's an hour. Show your hour there. You have the Jerry Goldsmith there. You have it with you. Yes. Yeah, it's Jerry. Hi, Jerry. How are you?
Jerry Goldsmith. Okay. I'm very proud.
Yeah, I know.
And the Hollywood Music and Media Award.
Yep.
It was great memory.
That's it. It seems like the Superman one, the Richard Donner film, the crystal from Krypton. Yeah. Okay, we have John Evans here. John?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes,
hello,
perfectly.
John. How are you?
Hey, how's it going, guys? Greetings from Atlanta, Georgia.
Great. So go ahead with your question. I feel it's very interesting.
Yes, what Oriana had just mentioned about the trailer music and how it should be used to sell the film. I was curious as to what point you come in with the actual filmmakers to decide how the music is going to go. Since you're using the music to sell the film, to producers to finance the completion versus the movie already being made? Is there a difference in the approach there?
I'm not sure I understand the question, but I think that normally the filmmakers they shoot the film, but they don't have a lot of decision of about the trailer, because it's like another filmmaker who do the trailer. Okay, so it's like two completely different productions, different teams sometimes. Okay, so we have a team, we have a producers, we have a special method for the trailer, and we have another group or another team for a film. And I don't know how you say that in English. Delegar is Tony. How do you say?
Yes,
Delegate,
no,
delegate.
but delegate, yes, but the question was very interesting because John was asking, okay, in that particular situation you are talking about, that you don't have the movie, you don't have the money, you should make a trailer to sell the thing, not to sell the movie, but to get the money to be able to make the music. So on that kind of situation, in which point you enter the equation, because you are important, because you will create the trailer at first. So you are there from the beginning?
Yes. Normally,
Great.
The entrance in the project is from the beginning.
Okay, that was...
It's very important to give to the trailer all the maximum of quality to get the money. So all the resources, the composer, the producer, the filmmaker, etc., they are completely obsessed. They are absolutely focused to do a good job with the trailer, because if you don't have the money.
Okay.
Even if the film after has not the same quality of the trailer sometimes.
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering if you become involved with the film as it's being filmed itself, or do they give you already a pre-assembled edit of the what they want to be the trailer, and then you compose to that, or do you have any input in what the trailer is actually going to look like? Yeah,
we have normally the script of the trailer. The trailer have his own script, and the idea is very, very clear of the trailer. So you can have a feedback with the filmmaker, with all the production. You have on your paper the script. You can read it. You can have sometimes a storybook, you say. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you can see some pictures of the trailer, and you have a good idea of what you need to compose for this trailer. And after all, you received the trailer edited, and you can compose with the real images or with the real pictures of the trailer.
Okay, I see. Yeah, thank you.
So,
yeah.
Great. So let's gonna answer some very fast ones, because I know you are running out of time. One is okay. I will order these two because first the short one. Let me check what it was. Because it's one person asking us for the list of libraries you use in the trailer, but that will be very long. So maybe you can post it later in the group. That will be okay. But is someone asking something interesting? Could you talk about your process for writing in the sequencer to live recordings, and how much of chart preparation you do yourself, or if you are working with copyists and orchestrators to get the music to the live players? I mean, if you are getting help with the preparation stuff, or if you do everything by yourself.
Normally, with the trailers I have worked, I was alone. Okay, yep. So I need to prepare everything, and the filmmakers are in absolutely confidence. Josué, I need the music of the trailer, and I know that you will do your job well. Okay, I'm sure that in other productions, when the budget is highest, okay, or higher, you can delegate in a special team as orchestrators, as the orchestra, and other people. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And Lucas is asking something that is the sound in film trailer is different because the film have not an epic melody. Because if the melody is clear and recognizable, it's necessary to use it in the teaser. Example: Superman, Pirates of Caribbean, Star Wars, Amelie, blah blah. I understand what Lucas is asking, but my point, I believe, the point he's missing is that we know the melodies when we saw the movie, but we are talking about a trailer from a movie that we don't see yet. If
Sure.
I didn't see a Superman and I hear a pa 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 pa, you don't create in me the same emotion. But it will be interesting to know what do you think about that?
I think about that if the film is the second, the third, or the fourth one of a saga, you can work with the melody. You need to work with a melody because you are awakening this emotion in the people. Okay, because you remember the first film and you remember the emotions you had when you saw the film. But for the first film, if it's a saga, or for a normal film with a second part, it's very difficult to put the melody in the trailer because
but he's writing something. Amelie uses in the trailer, uses the melody, but Amelie is like saying to you, that's a special movie, like you will live something different or stuff. Okay. It's a great pleasure to be here with you talking, but I know you should go for this premiere and we can't be more long. So anyway, for all of you that have maybe the more questions or some things that you want to ask, but we don't have time, remember, Josué is now in the group, the cinematic composing group. Anything you need to ask to him, you can leave a post, put in his name just to receive the notification, and then he can answer you because he loves this kind of stuff.
Yeah, sure.
So Josué, thank you very much for coming. It is a pleasure to have you here. I hope you enjoy your premiere today. Yes. And I hope to go to Valencia to see you soon because we have some friends in common, and it will be a good good thing.
It is very soon, and it's a very great pleasure for me to share this time today with all of us. And thank you very much. And we will see soon.
Yeah. Okay.
Perfect.
So
thank you.
Thank you very much,
everyone, for coming.
See you.
Bye bye. Thank you. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.